In this screencast, I will be demonstrating the OFAC Direct app for Salesforce. The OFAC Direct app is designed to be simple and make it easy to comply with your OFAC KYC requirements by leveraging your existing Salesforce data. We allow for automated and manual searches of companies and individuals directly from Salesforce.com. Specifically, you're able to pull an OFAC SDN search from either the lead, the account, or the contact object. We also offer an option for continuous monitoring, meaning that if a tracked or monitored individual or company is not currently on the compliance list but gets added to the list at a later date, this app will automatically update their status within Salesforce. So let's start with the end user experience, back to where we allow automated or manual searches of companies and individuals. We're going to start by looking at individuals under the contact object. So if I open up a contact, you can see that there's an SDN search action up in the top right. Before I do the individual SDN search, I want to make sure that the first and last name are completed in the contact. First and last name are required in order to compare to the OFAC list. So if I click on the individual SDN search, the app is going to take my contact first and last name and compare it against the OFAC list. All of my searches will appear over here on the right. If I click into my most recent search, I can see my contact, and over here on the right, I can see any possible matches. The matches include the name that was on the OFAC list that my contact potentially matches, any title or remarks associated with that contact from the OFAC list. So you can see the OFAC list here pulled a potential date of birth and address information for this contact. If I click into the details, I can see even more information about the match, including the name that matched, related addresses, and any alternate names that were found on the OFAC list. If I go back to the SDN search, you'll see a few additional action buttons appear on the top right, including Update Status, Remove Tracker, and Add Tracker. There is a system-wide setting to add the tracker or remove the tracker from all contacts, accounts, and leads. This tracker is what I mentioned earlier that allows for continuous monitoring of companies and individuals to ensure that if their status on the OFAC list changes, the status will also be updated here in your Salesforce environment. So the system-wide status can be turned on for all contacts and individuals, or you may choose to add or remove them on an individual basis. We also see this update status. The update status allows you to change the status of the company or individual based on your research. So for example, this contact came back as a potential hit. The status is inspect, meaning potentially this contact matches a person on the OFAC list. If after doing my due diligence and research, I find that this status, that this particular individual is not an unsafe entity, meaning they're safe to do business with, I can choose to update the status, and instead of inspect, we can change it to exception. There is additional information about statuses found in the documentation. Additionally, in addition to the individual search, we offer a company search as well, which can be done through the account or the lead. So we'll take a look at the account object, and we'll open up one of my customer accounts. So you'll notice that at the top of the customer account, we have company SDN search instead of individual. Prior to doing the company SDN search, the only required field is account name. If I click on the SDN search button, Our app is comparing my account name to possible entities on the OFAC list. As you can see, this entity that we searched came back safe. I can dig into the details here for the search, and since it did not match any entities on the OFAC list, you can see that in this case the SDN matches came back as 0. If I had done some additional due diligence for this company and determined that they were potentially unsafe to do business with, I could also update the status and say, well, OFAC says that they're safe, but after my determination has been that they are unsafe. And I could update the status that way. Again, additional information about the definitions and details around the statuses can be found in the documentation. One last topic that I want to mention is with respect to automatically running these searches. So what I just demonstrated here was a manual search against an account and a contact. We also have the ability to run automated searches. So in order to set up the SDN searches to run automatically, a process builder, trigger, or workflow can be utilized by your system administrator to set one of these checkboxes. We have a run company SDN search here on the contact, and we have a run individual SDN search on the contact. And these two checkboxes are already programmed to automatically run the search when checked and then uncheck themselves. So if you have a process builder, a trigger, or workflow that you want to utilize this checkbox, these searches can also be run automatically as well.